Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So today we have just cringe, absolutely satanic cringe. When government that is supposed to be, what is it? There's supposed to be a separation between church and state. But what happens when not only a government office allows prayer, but prayer of a different kind? This is the opening prayers at a Washoe County Commission meeting, and the is Hail Satan. Take a look at this video.
Thank you for letting us here. My name is Jason. I am an organizer and founder of Reno Satanic, and I am here to give the invocation today. Let us begin. In nomine de nostris Satanis Luciferi excelsi, in the name of the eternal rebel against tyrannical authority, in the spirit of your nature of the natural world, the freedoms of thought and expression, unprejudiced intellectual inquiry, economics and social progress, to bring influence and guiding actions of nobility and justice to the decisions made in this chamber today, to act with might in the undertaking of responsibility that may lay ahead of this body before us today. The new age is dawning that these decisions will play a role in. For our liberation, for here and now is our day of joy. Here and now is our opportunity. May we seize this glorious day and its enchanting nights to celebrate the wonders of the natural world, as we are all part of its boundless mysteries. In the spirit of the unconquerable sun, the bringer of light and knowledge, we say, Shemham Farash, Hail Satan.
Okay. Madam Clerk, we will now move to public comment.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah, but man, this is now in our courtroom. You know, I mean, this, and they got a hard task, because I kind of feel for government offices. You know, it's like, if there is freedom of religion, if they allow one religion in, they have to allow both. And this is the problem with being, as a government office, of being a peacekeeper and not a peacemaker. You know, because a peacekeeper says, oh, we don't want to offend. We have to get everybody an opportunity. We can't favor one religion over another. We have to allow certain things to come inclusive. We need to be inclusive, you know, don't want to cause anybody to get offended. And that's the problem with being peacekeepers. But Christ said, blessed are the peacemakers. Peacemakers are the people that make peace, that bring peace into the situation. You know, I like the in the Old Testament, right? The kings of Israel, right? And it talks about all these kings that say, well, this one had a heart towards God, and like his fathers, you know, walked in the ways of God, just like their fathers. But they said, but they did not take down the high places. Right? But they did not take down the high places. It said that about several kings. And but then you have Josiah, right? Who he had a heart that was towards God, but when he found the Bible, or not the Bible, but when he found the scriptures of the law and saying what he was supposed to do, he realized that all these idols, all these high places, all these idol worshiper temples need to be destroyed immediately. And he completely cleansed the city, and he didn't care who he offended. And he caused peace. He caused peace. He made peace. And you kind of wonder, why did these kings of old not bother taking down the high places? And it's political. You can see it in our own society today, is that why don't they take down the high places? Why don't they, you know, take down the worship of other gods and all that kind of stuff? If we are supposed to be a nation under God, a Christian nation, why don't we take down all these other idol worshipers and Satan temples and stuff like that? It's because they are peacekeepers. Oh, got to keep the peace. But one day, things like this creep in to your courthouses, to your commission offices, to your government offices, and all of a sudden, there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, and you end up sitting there acting like that lady, going, "What? Anybody going to stop this? Yeah, is this just going to happen? We're just okay with this now?" Yeah. Yep, lady, welcome to the new world. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a problem. When even when you uh think about it, it's really pandering to the few, the minority. Everybody else, all the rest, the majority will have to just stay silent, say nothing, do nothing, because we don't want to offend the few. So
Mhm.
that's really the thing. Especially that, as you said, the Constitution of the United States, when it was framed, it was supposed to be a nation under God. So even in that statement, the the country, the United States, was originally supposed to be a Christian nation. So not unless, probably then the US now says no, 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 we'll ratify the Constitution, we'll change it out. Not unless that happens and everybody else, the majority, thinks or declares that we're no longer Christian, then maybe then it would be okay to and really be acceptable for a Satanist to say the opening prayer before a before government office starts their hearing.
Well, and you listen to the words of these of what Satanists believe. And now honestly, the Church of Satan actually doesn't believe in Satan itself. You know
Mhm.
that? They actually
Yeah,
say that.
that's what they say.
That's what
Yeah,
they say, and I
yeah.
believe them too. I do because they don't actually believe that there is a Satan and all this heavenly stuff. They just
Mm,
believe in the identity of a type of identity that goes after the against the authorities, against the a
mhm,
freedom of oppression from the norms and the rule of this world. The law of this world. They want to rebel against that and to be free of the oppression. Just like when the other video that we just did about this Satan video or the Satan cartoon, with
mhm.
Lilith and all that kind of stuff on Prime Video. If you haven't seen that video, guys, take a look at that one because
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's like this oppression. He was a figure that was against the oppressive ways of what is perceived as good and really
Mhm,
bringing the light of knowledge and freedom. So
mhm,
he's a liberator, you know and man, just that whole deceiver and schemer and a liar from the beginning, it definitely reigns true today. That is just it's because that's what he was saying, is that he was a liberator of oppressed. He was a
mhm,
bringer of wisdom and freedom and nature and all this magic stuff, and
mhm.
it puts him in a beautiful light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds so nice. Sounds so good. It's like, okay, so what's the fuss about? They're talking about things that are really nice, that you should respect and take care of nature, you know on its own. Superficially, it's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, about that. I mean, that's right, we really should be taking care of nature. So
Yeah, or like the Satan's Club, like in schools now, in some
mhm.
schools in the area. You heard about that?
Yeah,
Did you hear
yeah,
about
yeah,
that? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the after school Satan's Club.
The after
Right.
school Satan club, yep.
Right. Well, it's not about like belief in Satan. Come on, we
Mhm,
don't
mhm,
believe that. It's just, again, they paint him as just a character that
mhm,
just naturally opposes the oppression, right, and
mhm.
slavery and all this kind of stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, then why don't you just like say call it the after school Abraham Lincoln's Club?
Yeah.
He was a liberator, right? He he
Yep.
he
Yep.
fought against the ruling power, or
Yeah.
the was it Wilberforce? What's that guy? Wilberforce? You know
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, something Wilberforce. They made a movie about him.
yeah.
And he stopped the Atlantic slave trade, right?
Mhm.
So why don't they call it the Wilberforce After School Care Club?
Yeah.
Like, why
Or
do they?
or just, if it's really just an ideology, it's not centered around a person or a personality, then just call it based on what that ideology is. It's about what? It's about emancipation. It's
Mhm.
about
Freedom
leadership,
from oppression.
uh, freedom from oppression. Uh, you know, talk about the ideology, not a person or a character.
Why Satan? Why Satan? Why do you have to pick that
Yeah.
guy? It's just
Mhm.
and again, it's just like what we said before. Why do they pick this certain thing? And it's because that when you are going after and wanting to take over, you have to attack the power first.
Mhm.
You have to go out, you have to go after the strongest element to conquer. If I was to conquer a country, I would have to go after all its military bases and all of its fighting power first. And then the country is basically mine. Go after its government, and the country is mine. If you go after the power first, what Satan is doing is that through his lies, he's actually revealing who the real power is inadvertently. I mean, he's basically just declaring to all of us where the real power is, and that is Christianity. Satan doesn't fight against Allah. Satan doesn't fight against Buddhism. Satan doesn't fight against the Pope. It just fights against Christians, the body of Christ. That's all he
Mhm.
fights against. And so, what would be a real telltale is like, go for what the evil is fighting against. And notice that that's where the power is. And there's power in the name of Jesus. That's why people fight it and mock it for thousands of years now. Will keep going until Jesus comes again. So, just as we say all the time on this show, let me encourage you. It is about to get a lot worse. Okay. So we as Christians need to stand firm and really start looking unto heaven and starting to really understand that the time is close. The what the he who has covered, who has stopped this stuff from coming out and has stopped this from being a regular thing, has now let it all go. And now this great deception is upon the world. And we need to understand that the time is now to trim your lamps, to light up your candles, and get ready, because Jesus is coming. He is coming, and he will cut down all these grass like a lawnmower, right? All the evil people are like grass. And when the Lord comes, he will cut them down like grass. So, what do you guys think about all this evil that is coming in to the government offices, or even our schools, or our programming? They're not even hiding anymore. What do you think about all of that? Let us know down in the comment below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to these videos. They really do help us get this content out. And also, we will see you on the next video. God bless you, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.